All righty, family. All righty. Hey, 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 everybody. How are we doing? I hope we are all good, doing good. Um, I am trying to find us a song, right? Always try to come up with something, but this is my favorite. And I keep hoping that I don't get dinged for this, but I love this song, you guys. Hold on here. We're just gonna listen to a little bit of it. Right? Because I think it's very important, and we're going to journey and continue talking about how important Black families are, how important our fathers are. We're going to talk about this until I get tired of talking about it because Black folk, we are in a 911. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that sees this. I'm sure that I'm not the only one that notices that Houston, we have a problem, right? And it's so important to talk about this. It's so important to talk about this. And I don't think we understand how important it is to talk about this. We keep ignoring the elephant in the room. We keep ignoring the elephant in the room. And we're going to ignore that elephant, and that elephant going to come up and bite our little behinds. And we need to understand how important our dads are. Seriously. We as single women, or Black women, I should say, who are raising boys by themselves, you are doing your child a disservice, ladies. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to show you why. Because what is the job of a father? We're going to talk about that. And we're going to understand that you are hurting your child more than helping him by not allowing that dad to have some type of part in his life. You think you're hurting a dad? You're not. You're hurting a child. And you may not even never ever admit how important that dad was because he wasn't important to you. Therefore, but he used to be important to you before, okay? Whatever happened. So now all of a sudden he's the worst man in the world, but you slept with him. So what's that saying about you? Obviously, he was something good about him, but you don't get a right. You don't have a right. You don't get a right not to allow that man to have some type of authority, control. You don't have a right to even stop him from being in that child's family. You don't have a right to do that. You don't have a right to take that father out of that son's life and that daughter. It's balance. You don't have balance. You have what? You have a mess. If you were, say for instance, you like sweets and that's all you eat. You don't eat food, you eat sweets. What's going to happen? You don't have a balanced diet, right? So either you're going to gain weight, you're going to look really. But there's a balance in life. When we take that opportunity away from our children, you do more harm than you do good. We're going to talk about our fatherless boys tonight. We're going to talk about the harm. What is the job of a father? Why does our boys need their dads? Why does the girls need their dads? Because a father's job is to teach our boys how to be protectors, providers, and they teach our boys how to be men. They teach our boys how to kind of negate the aggression. It's almost like mom are the nurturers, right? But dads are like the balance. They are the ones that teach that boy how to be tough. Because if they just grow up around women, we don't teach them how to be little babies. Okay, come here, booby, my little boy. He falls. You run over there, you pick him up. And you nurture him. You give him the hugs, you give him the kisses, and they don't know how to get up by themselves, right? They look, have you seen little boys that fall or kids fall, period, and they look up at the mom and they lay there and they're looking at the mom to see, okay, where are they now? Do I cry? Or is she going to run and come and help me up? Or am I going to have to struggle through this and get it myself? Right. And that's what men do. Men are the type, they'll they kind of hold the mom's hand. When he knows when the boy falls, the man will hold the mom's arm so that she won't run to her baby, because my baby just fell. I need to be there to pick him up, swoop him up. But if the man is around, he's gonna be, baby, he got it. He got it, right? But if we don't have that man around to be able to tell us, and it almost like it's balanced too with a woman when we have a man in our lives, right? So when we get emotional, sometimes I get emotional. My husband goes, "It's okay," and just him by him saying that, that's a calming for me, because he knows I'm. Women, I get emotional. Even when here, I get emotional doing my shows, right? And and even having him around, he'll go, "Babe, it's okay, honey, it's okay." And even I'll be mad sometimes. "No, it's not okay." Da, da, da. And he'll look at me, "It's okay." And that right there is enough to calm Cassie, calm me down. I got the perfect man for Cassie. I'm telling you, I got the perfect man. But it's so sad because we as Black women, Black people, are not understanding the part that's missing. That masculinity that our boys need is missing, because we as single women, I'm not a single woman, I'm just saying, but we as Black single women, we portray our characteristics onto our boys. We portray, sorry y'all, we portray our characteristics on our little boys, right? So they get their whiny. Have you ever seen a little boy that all he do is whine all day? He just he just whining all day. I can't stand that. That bothers me. I hate whiny kids. I'm telling you, my kids didn't whine. If they whine, you either go to bed or you tell me what you need. Seriously, I can't take whining. I didn't do too much with whining. Don't whine. You have words. We can talk. Let me help you. Let me teach you how to talk so that you can use your words. Okay. But so when we take the man out of their lives, we're creating we're creating something that's not even supposed to be, because God says it's not good for man to be alone. So I'm sure he meant it's not good for a woman to be alone either, right? It takes two of us. So if you make that baby, why are you stopping him from coming to visit? Why are you stopping him from keeping that baby? Why are you stopping him? You want so much control over him that you want to outplay that control in the son's life. And well, if you don't act right this weekend, you don't get your son. If you don't act right, if you don't call me, if you don't communicate, if you don't, just using all these excuses of why you're going to hold his son from him, thinking that it's going to hurt him. It's not hurting him, because eventually he's going to get to the point where he's not even going to call you to get the baby. And then you, just like Kim Kardashian now, is really upset because Kanye West is not even, I don't know if he's in the life of the kids now or not, but I seen where she was really upset because she has to be a single mom now, right? But that's by her own choice, right? Ooh, it's got some hair in my face here. I can't stand this really seriously. So it's by her own choice that, oh, I got some hair. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get the hair on my face. But it's by her own choice, right? That Kanye West is not there. Remember, he moved across the street and he was trying to be in his child's life, right? But what happened? She was acting a little itch. I didn't say the word. She was acting like a little itch. And he said, okay, the heck with you. I'm tired of begging you. I'm tired of fighting you for something that I shouldn't even have to fight for, because it is his kids too, just like it's hers, right? But she wants to have control over him. Cam's like, didn't have control. You're not getting that. You're not getting that. And she thought she was hurting him, but who did she end up hurting? Herself. Why? Because now she got 4 babies. 4. And that oldest one north, oh honey, that's Kanye West right there, all the way through and through. Okay, that is his child, and we know that's his child because she acts just like him. Oh honey, I'm just saying. But she getting ready to get it, so she got 4 babies to have that control. Now Kanye gave her that control. There you go, have at it, and now she's whining, right? But you created that bed, so Kanye West, if you listen. Let her lay in that bed. Let her have that bed. So let's talk about the role of the dad. And what happens when he's not there. I want to share my screen a little bit. I want to share my screen a little bit. I was supposed to do the show tomorrow, but I actually was going to do it Friday. And then my granddaughter graduated, so I was down there. And then I came back last night. I didn't feel like getting on, so I said, okay, I'll do it today. And then I think it was set for Sunday, and then I changed. I'm like, no, I thought I had changed the date to the night. So I guess people will see it after it's done, which is fine. I don't have a problem with people coming by and checking it out. But like and share, if you are coming by, like and share, hit the bell so you know when I'm live. Come on, like and share. I want to get off of, I think I'm at 340 or 350. I want to try to get into the 500s at least within the next couple of months. Just trying something new here. But this topic should be so important to Black people. But I guess because I'm not dogging men, which I will never dog our men. I love me some Black men. I would never dog our men. I do believe that they have the shortest end of the stick all the time. Um, and they're having to live in this country. My hat goes off to our men. I don't know how you do it. I've seen it. I don't know how you do it. You guys have hell every day. You wake up in hell. You go to sleep in hell. You wake up. You day to day. You don't know if you're gonna live or die. You don't know if you're gonna get pulled over. You don't know if you're gonna get shot. You don't know. It's so much in the air, and it's just like you go on these jobs and you're bothered with these racist people, and we understand what we're dealing with, and they're not there to make life easier, and you have to do everything right. You have to dot your I's and cross your T's. You have to be perfect when nobody else has to be perfect, and nobody else has to do their job at a T, dotting every I and crossing every T, but let you not cross that I today. But you've crossed it all them 10 years. You not cross it today, and you get the right up. You get the right up. You know what I'm saying? I know my hat goes off to you, and I want to thank the men that are there, and they are doing the work, and they are married, and they are holding it down. Congratulations. Thank you for doing you. Thank you for being responsible. Thank you for being the man that you were created to be. And for the ones that really don't know how, because we expect our men to do something that they were never taught to do. And it goes, and it's not, I can't even blame slavery, because even in slavery, they had their moms, even their dads, even in after slavery, they had their parents, right? Both parents, right? So I don't know. I blame the school system. I blame the government. I blame several members of the government for us being in the predicament we are in now. And we can't blame us, because of the simple fact, when you have when you have allowed others to educate your children to get to those minds, and our ancestors talked to us about allowing these type people to educate you and to get to your baby's minds. But everything that our ancestors taught us, we seem to have forgotten, and we did everything that they told us not to do. We ended up doing it, which is whose fault? Because we don't listen. Black folk are stiff-necked people. We are very hard-headed. We don't listen. We want to find out things the hard way. We want to do it ourselves. We don't want nobody to tell us. And even when Dr. Claude Anderson told us, because he was the wrong color, nobody listened. And now, even now, we're still not listening. We're waiting on white folk to tell us, is it okay, Master, if I go home and be with my black wife? No, I don't want you to be with a black woman. I'm going to let you be with Becky over here. Becky is just better than that black woman. But the white men are after Becky. I mean, after the black woman, right? They loving some black woman. They loving your black woman, and vice versa. I'm just saying. But they told you, nope, don't go home. You don't need no black woman. She's toxic. She's this, that, and the other. And you guys have swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. You know you're a black woman. You know what's going on with us more so than anybody else in the world. Don't let white folk tell you what's going on with black women. They don't know. They guessing. They guessing. We've had a rough way to go too. But black women and black men are the only two that can understand their situation. I don't care what nobody say. Lance, hello. Welcome, welcome. But we're talking about family. Fatherless voice, okay? We're going to continue on. But welcome. Share this, like and share as you come in. But black men have had it so rough. And I mean, I applaud you. I applaud you for going through all of the hell that you've gone through, and you still come out fighting. You still come out making it happen. You still, yes, you're dealing with some mental issues. Yes, you're dealing with, but that's hard not to deal with a whole lot of mental illness. You've been traumatized since kindergarten, and some of you guys are 32, and you remember that kindergarten teacher who was on an assignment to break that dream, to break you down, to make you think that you weren't worthy to be that teacher, or you weren't worthy to be that lawyer, or you weren't worthy to be anything but a janitor, anything but, you weren't worthy to be anything but. You weren't worthy to have your own business. You weren't worthy to do anything but to work for a white man. And then you got on their jobs and they treated you like dirt. And you stayed because you've been tortured and you've been traumatized for so long. It's so hard to be free of that and everything that represents you because you hate who you are, because they've made you hate being black. They've made you hate being a man. Everything that represents that man, black woman, I don't want nothing to do with her. I don't want nothing to do with her right now. I want some peace. I don't have to look at me, but I don't have to look at her. I don't have to go home to that. I get options over here. Those options are better than this over here. Not knowing that that over there is the only option that's going to understand you. That option is the only woman that can understand you, and you are the only man that can understand her. You can only go there with your black woman. You can't talk a certain way with a white woman. You can't talk a certain way with a Chinese woman. You can't talk a certain way with any type of woman but a black woman, because we understand the struggle, because we've been there. We've understood the struggle. Yes, we have to go on these jobs. What we do, we have to kiss up behind everybody's whatever in order to eat, in order to put food on our table. And the black man has to really stretch out there. He's got to really hang in there. He's got to really kiss some butt. And then even kissing behind, he still will get fired because he forgot to put the name, he forgot to dot that I, he forgot to cross that T today. I'm just saying, but I appreciate you. My hat goes off to you, black men. My hat goes off to you. And this is not something that black men are used to. But black people are used to, or black men are used to black women disrespecting them. They're not used to this. So this show is not going to be packed with thousands of people, because I'm not cussing out my men. I'm not cursing black folk. I'm not, being hard on them. I'm not here to be hard on them, because you got it hard enough. I'm not here to pull you down. I'm not here to degrade you. I'm here to build you up. I'm here to say I'm proud of you and I appreciate you. The ones that's making it happen, the ones that's sitting out there trying to get that woman to understand that I want to spend time with my child. I want to be around him. I want to make this thing work. But sometimes we just pick the wrong woman, bro. I'm just saying. And sometimes you gotta let things go. But and I want men to get to the place that I'm hoping that you guys can stay together. But if you can't, take that boy with you. Take him with you. What can she do? Take him with you. You tell her I'm taking him. You can get him on the weekends, especially if he's 10 and over. Now, if he's 1, 2, 3, leave him there. But you guys come into an agreement that when that boy hits 9 or 10, that I'm coming to get him. And you're gonna be there anyway, because mandatory for you to be there every weekend there. Because you gotta pour into him. You gotta pour into him. If you're not there, who's gonna pour into him? The streets. Okay. But you gotta go get him at 10 on. You gotta take that responsibility. And that's where that balance comes in at. But we're gonna talk a little bit. We're gonna talk about this thing. I wanted to share my screen here because I want to talk a little bit about Ram in the Bush. It's my baby. We're gonna talk about my little baby right now. Entire screen. Excuse me, you guys. Let's do this and hold on. I must have did something wrong. Oh, I know what I did wrong. I always do this. Y'all know I always do this. Okay, here we go. Let's share this. Come on, let's go in here and just talk about Ram in the Bush. Y'all know that's my baby, right? Okay, y'all know that's my baby. Y'all know that's my baby. Let me go ahead. I want to introduce y'all to my little baby here. Come on, you guys. We got some featured products here. We got shirts, Ram in the Bush. We got hats. We got Next. That's my thing. That's my logo. We got Next. That's my book. That's a journal that I have. Raminthebush.com, RealMinthebush.com. And of course, we have different builders fees. We have services that we offer as the main services: mentoring, home management classes, life insurance, coaching, new programs coming. And we still try to do the doula. And I'm going to get it one of these days. One of these days, I'm going to find me the perfect doula that's Black, that wants to help us out, teach us a little bit. Running into trouble finding me a doula, midwives and stuff. But one of these days, I'm going to be here and I'll be like, oh, you're going to see doula up there. Okay. You're going to see her right there. New programs, doulas. Okay. But I want you guys to just keep Ram in the Bush in mind. And what we do here, we're building our own tables. Okay. We are building our own tables and we are doing as far as reentry programs with the felons. Some of them have felons, some of them don't. And depending on what they want to do, and we're teaching them to have their own business, create their own tables. We don't have to beg anybody for a table. And I want Black people to get to the point where we are recognizing that we don't have to beg anybody to do for us. We don't have to beg anybody to sit at their tables. We can create their tables. I'm trying to get you the table now to help you to build your own table so that you can help me help others to build their table. So I can use you as mentors. I can use you to help me to get things started with other felons. Okay. And we do 18 to 25, and we also do high schoolers. So it's not just felons that we work with, we work with anybody. Okay. Male and female. Uh, 18 to 25 is the age range. And sometimes our felons are a little older. We do go up to a certain age with even felons. Okay. So I really don't say 18 to 25 with felons. It can go up to 30, 35. If I have a job for them, if I'm able to help, I help. Also looking for, I thought I had a guy that I was going to come together with a mentor. Well, he's like an investor. So I am looking for an investor that has homes. Um, a guy told me about, he was going to hook me up, but we talk a lot, we talk a good game sometimes and don't come through. So I am still looking for that investor who has properties that want to lease with the option to buy it. Okay. All I need is 3 or 4 bedroom house, and I'm gonna make it into like a boarding house for my felons. Okay, because they don't have anywhere to go. They really don't. And I could put two to a room, and maybe, or I don't know, just depending on how big the rooms are and how big the house is, I can probably get two to a room. But if I can, if the rooms are really super small, then I'll just do one to a room. I just want them to have a place to live, and I'll have a common area. They'll be able to come out the room and watch TV. You'll be in charge of cleaning up behind yourself. Nobody's gonna come in here. And I was thinking about even hiring somebody, maybe, just depending. We'll see. Somebody to come in there and clean, like maybe once every other day. Because I know sometimes things get a little with me. And so just debating. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see just how much. But I might have somebody that's gonna come in either once a week. It might start out once a week, just depending. Okay, just depending. But I want you guys to just keep Realm in the Bush in mind. Okay, because this is an amazing idea, and I don't want us to lose sight of what we're trying to do here. Um, Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to go in here. Oh man, I really didn't want to do this. I was trying to do fatherless boys. I'm going to change the thing because this was not the one. I wanted to do the fatherless boys tonight. I don't know why it's fatherless girls, but that's okay. I'll change it, and then we'll do the fatherless girls next time. But this is the one about the fatherless boys. Okay, so we do have the wrong title up there, but I'll change it later. I'm not going to change it now. So you guys know that we're talking about the fatherless boys. Okay, we're talking about the fatherless boys. Okay, so y'all bear with me today. Um, but that's okay. You see the little precious little girl. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna play into that nonsense, Lance. I'm not here to please people. I'm here to bring attention to the Black family, and we are at a 911. So yes, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna share some other things with you. Um, I'm trying to see where I want to go first. This is so important. I want to let's talk about him. Let's talk about this one. Okay. Let's get that's Dr. Umar. I love me some Dr. Umar. I tell you. Let's listen to him.
Black family. Do you know that we were still getting married through slavery, jumping a broom in secret, even under punishment of death? We were married during Reconstruction. We were married during civil rights. When do you begin to see the rise of the single parent household? 1970. After they killed Dr. King, the United States government said we must neutralize the Black power base. And they determined that the Black power base was the Black family. It was independent Black skilled men and women who financed King, financed Mr. Garvey, financed Mr. Muhammad, financed SNCC and CORE, the Freedom Riders and the sit-in movement. So they said, if we want to crush the Black struggle, we got to crush the Black family. So guess what they did in 1970? King dies in 68. In 1970, they came into the Black communities and deindustrialized our city centers. In 1970, they started shutting down the factories. Remember, up until the 50s and 60s, You didn't need a college degree to get a decent
That's-
job. Many of us got grandparents who worked in factories their
Yep.
whole life
My mom
and
did
lived
it.
better lives than we're living now with
Yeah.
2 and 3 degrees.
Yes.
They could work in their same neighborhood and everybody worked for the factory. Good retirement, pension, benefits, medical. They started shutting down the factories in 1970 and then they went into the high schools and did what?
Took the
Started
trade schools.
deindustrializing the
Yep.
inner city high
I
schools.
remember
Up
that.
until 1970, you could
Yep.
graduate from almost any school in
With
New
the
York certified
certificate.
as a plumber,
Yep.
certified as an electrician,
Yep.
certified as a carpenter, auto body, brick mason, a welder. They took all those programs out. These are the skills that pays the bills, gentlemen.
Yes.
As long as you have a skill, you can always feed your family. But if all you got is degrees, you might end up in an unemployment line. Why?
But guess what? Ram in the Bush is bringing all that back. I'm offering paid training, okay, paid on the job training in some of these fields. And some of them right now won't do paid training, like plumbing. I would love to do a paid on the job training. There used to be a program. There's not a program. HVAC, plumbing. Now I can do roofing, paid on the job training, but and CDO paid on job training, but mostly HVAC. Um, let me see, HVAC and something else is not paid on the job training. Electrician, you can't get paid on job training for that anymore. Okay, but depending on if you're white, and I say so, you can, but they're not doing that for us. Okay, so I should say it like that because I know some companies. I've talked to a nice young man, and he was mixed, and he was talking about he was working as an electrician, and I asked him, I said, I said, hey, did you go to school for that? And he goes, no, my grandfather's is teaching me. He was working with his grandfather, but he was mixed. So, and of course, his grandfather was white, so he was, passing it down to him. But yeah, so there are some, we're trying to do the same thing right now, paying on the job training. But I remember when Reagan came in and took a lot of that stuff. He finished it. Nixon started it. Reagan came in and finished it, and then of course went down the line. Biden, Clinton. Okay, those devils, honey, those devils right there. That's all I'm gonna say. But let me go ahead and let Dr. Umar finish.
Because the are not necessarily more to other black people. I'm a psychologist. Ain't too many black people running around looking for a psychologist to reveal all the skeletons in their closet.
Yeah, you got to talk to a white
exactly.
person.
So they started sending us to college instead of teaching us how to work with our hands. That was the 70s. That was the economic castration of the black male.
Yep.
Now let's go to 1980. The CIA comes in, cocaine import agency.
Yep.
They drop off crack. So now the unemployed black man who has always been a breadwinner, Envy, even in slavery, we were always the breadwinner up until 1970. Now the crack comes. You got a decision. I can sell this crack and try to put some food on the table, or I can smoke it to deal with the fact that I'm no longer economically relevant to the black woman. And let's be clear, the decade of the 70s was the decade of making the black man economically irrelevant to the black woman. We're the only man in America who is out-earned and out-educated by our mates. No other woman in America out-earns and out-educates their mates. And this is not the...
Do you think that's done on purpose? They've done it, but we as black people have to learn their tactics. If we know that that's what they're doing, we have to counteract it. We have to counteract it. I'm telling you. So guess what, black men? If you have a trade and you start your own business, you're going to make more than your woman, but we have to support these black-owned businesses. That's the thing that I'm finding in black communities. We're not supporting our black-owned businesses. We're going to talk about the boycott of the black-owned businesses. We're going to get into that, but we're going to continue on this show, you guys. I got it titled wrong. Is the fatherless boys, not the fatherless girls. We're doing the fatherless boys. I'm going to change the title and everything in a minute, okay? But y'all bear with me, okay? Bear with me. But go ahead. Let's talk.
The black woman's problem. I want to be clear. This was systematically done to make us irrelevant to our families.
Come on.
Then the 1990s come, Bill Clinton crime bill.
Mm-hmm.
3 strikes and you out. Mm-hmm. Mandatory minimum wages, the Bill Clinton crime bill. Now all those unemployed black men who got caught smoking crack or selling crack now being sent off to jail. Yeah. And then they also give us the ADHD so that we could dope the kids up with the same medicine that sent the father to jail. Then the year 2000 come, George Bush hits us with the what? Faith-based initiative.
But wait a minute. He missed Biden because Biden was in 84, right? 84. Clinton was in 87. Biden was in 84, something like that. Okay, let's finish. We're not gonna give Biden a pass. Oh, we're not giving that devil a pass. Heck to the no. He was the one that did the first bill, and then Clinton came up and finished it, right? Okay, let's not forget Biden. Oh no, we don't give him a pass. Come on.
He finds a loophole in federal law that allows you to finance churches. So now the mega churches and the medium-sized churches in the black community, Charlemagne, are being financed by the government. You think it's a coincidence, Envy, that you don't see no major churches involved in the miseducation movement? No major churches involved in the mass incarceration movement? Black no major churches involved in police genocide? Yeah. No major churches involved in poverty? Where is the black church in 2017 when it comes to black people issues? They're missing in action because they're being paid by the government to stay out of the struggle. And that's why it's called faith-based initiative. Your pastor is the new FBI agent.
Wow.
So therefore, your pastors, ladies, this is why no churches talks about any black issues. They didn't talk about anything in the 70s. They didn't talk about anything in the 80s. They don't talk about anything that has to do with black families. Had you noticed that? They don't talk about black issues. They don't talk about the men. They don't talk about how they're being feminized. They don't talk about the little boys. They don't talk. Come on, y'all. Come on. We ain't done. We ain't done. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. I got some things lined up for us. Hold on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I got one more I want you guys to see. Hold on. I hope I can find it. There we go. Come on. Now, you know, I'm hoping I'm not going to get dinged, but this is informational purposes only. Fair use, informational purposes only. Information purpose only. Let's talk about this.
This is my or can learn. It helps with my studies. I have trouble reading sometimes.
I don't care. Girl, get off of here. Hope I don't get dinged for this, you guys.
Let's start with a father's role in his son's life. What is that role?
Protector, provider, and to be a model, a demonstration of what it is to be a man, and how a man needs to be, how a man shows up, not just what a man does, but also how a man provides, how he protects for the women. I mean, it's like looking at yourself in the mirror. You get to see your role played out, and that's so important for young boys.
Okay, is this resonating with you all? Yeah. Fatherless sons is a crisis in our country, particularly in the African American community. It is an epidemic. It is an epidemic. And what we just saw when we opened the show, the statistics of men in prison is directly related to fatherless homes.
Do you believe that? I do not believe that. I'm going to tell you why. I do not. That's a white supremacy mindset right there, because you got white boys that had their fathers and they shooting up schools, right? They had their dads and they shooting up daycares. They had their dads and they shooting up Walmarts. They had their dads. So that's not true. Okay. That's not true. That's not true. Okay. That's a white supremacy mindset. So let's continue.
We invited Roland Warren to be here tonight. He's the former president and executive board member of the National Fatherhood Initiative. Shed some light on what we're saying here. Actually, as I was preparing for the show, there was a statement that you made that really struck me.
Right.
And I've called every fatherless man I know, where you said that there's a hole in the soul.
Yes. I'm fond of saying, kids have a hole in their soul in the shape of their dad. And if a father is unable or unwilling to fill that hole, it can leave a wound that's not easily healed.
Did that resonate with you? Kids have a hole in their soul that's the shape of their dad. Yeah.
Particularly the male children.
The male children.
Right.
And one of the reasons I'm excited about what you're doing here, what both of you are doing here, is that you're turning the lights on about this issue, because there are consequences to father absence. I mean, that transcend the data and the statistics. And one of the things to remember is behind all those statistics is an individual. It's a little boy, a little girl who's trying to understand. And it's difficult to be what you don't see.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to become what you didn't have.
Yes. I think the thing that's so interesting, and you all are going to get this in tonight's life class, is the consequences of that hole. The consequences. You watched it.
With my brother, I watched it. And the thing is, like, girls will talk, women will talk about certain things, but guys don't even have the language to say, I feel void, empty, inadequate, less than, because I didn't have a father.
Are you all shaking your heads because this
You're
is
not
true?
supposed to say those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. I'm trying to do something. Oh, shoot. I don't want to create nothing. Come on here. God, this is crazy. I don't think it's gonna let me. Hold on, let me get out of here. Okay, let's try this.
I bet you in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I can build you a full.
Oh. Now, do we believe that? Because I'm seeing some white boys that's displaying what he's saying. I'm seeing them display the same type of behavior with the fathers in the home. Now, maybe they were the other type of fathers, the fathers that was there that didn't indulge, or a father that really didn't even acknowledge the child. Okay, now that could be some of what's going on also. But a lot of these white boys are shooting up these schools, have both mom and dad there, but it's still dysfunction somewhere. Okay, so let's just keep listening. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Hope I'm not boring you guys too much. How can you learn how to be a man if you didn't have that example there? And this is what our men are dealing with today. Because in the 70s, you heard drugs was put out in neighborhoods. Our men, jobs was lost. They went to jail. So the families, so Biden's law, let's talk about that Biden's law, did the most harm to Black families. He separated, and he did it on purpose. Oh, I'm gonna pull up a video with him in the 70s or the 80s that he was talking about. Yeah, I know what we did, but we're gonna get him out of the way until we get it together, or until we figure out things or something. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up. But that's the worst thing and we have given this dude the highest seat, and he did the most harm to Black families. That's how I know we're dealing with mental illness, because a person in their right mind would not have. And even our ancestors before, this is the third time Biden has tried to get into the presidency seat. Remember, okay, you guys don't know this, but from the past history, our ancestors wouldn't even let him touch that seat. He tried for 3 times. The third time, because the new generation and my Black folk not doing their research on these political candidates that we put in office, that's put in front of us by them. We just jump on the bandwagon because Trump was so racist. God, I don't understand that theory. But if we had did our homework, we would have saw Biden, how racist Biden really was. But we gave him the highest seat, right? So I'm listening to this dude, and Biden did the most harm to the Black families. And that right there, the separation of our families, is what we're creating right now, of fatherless boys right now. They just don't know what the heck to do. You have to be taught how to be a father. Our girls don't have a problem because moms are there. But the boys, they struggle. They're struggling. Okay. Whatever reason happened. Yeah. All right. I'm going to restart it. Okay. I'm going to end this one and go to the other one. I don't know what it's saying.